All right, welcome back once again to United and Everything Football Podcast. It's been 6 days since we last. Is it 7 days? It's been quite a long time, more than a week. We also needed a break. Don't you believe that? We also needed a break after the stress Man United put us through in a game against Liverpool. Yes, we felt that we also needed a break. Today we are joined by a special guest, Cyrus Agogo. If you follow on YouTube from Kojo Sheldon Studios, I'm sure you'll be very familiar with this, our guest. A staunch United fan, very, very active on Twitter, very active on YouTube, Cyrus Agogo. Agogo, you're welcome to our podcast.
Yeah. Thank you, boss. I'm really happy to be part of the show.
Great.
I really wanted to be on this show, so finally I'm here.
Yeah, finally here. You're finally here. It's great to have you. Kwame Nkrumah Siako in his do-rag.
My hair has lost its way, so
you have to find a way to deal with it.
Exactly.
Charlie, he says the weather is lashing him in Germany. Charlie, how is it, Kwame? How have you been?
The summer is over, and after the summer, only shit follows. Let me just put it that way. So yeah, we are bracing ourselves for it.
Bracing yourselves.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
All right. So remember, if this is your first time watching us, remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Please, the subscription. Keep it coming. Remember to subscribe, and also be a part of this community. Also remember to leave your likes and comments. We are back. And this time around, we are not going for a break again. Even during the international break, we'll be here for you. Remember, we'll be doing United today. We'll be doing United and Everything Football and everything in between. So please remember to subscribe. I'm going to make a quick turnaround. When we come back, we are looking at our players on international duty. Some people have been saying that, why are they playing so well when they go for their national teams? And we'll look at why the reason, or what's the reason behind that. And Ronaldo has made some comments concerning his time at Man United and what he feels. He's made a comment about Erik ten Hag, saying that United can't win the league and United have to fight for top four and all of that. He's made a comment. We'll look at that. And then we'll preview the game against Southampton. It's an early kickoff. An early kickoff has its own problems. We'll dissect all of that here on United and Everything Football. My name is Kwame. Let's make a quick turnaround. When we come back, we delve straight into the issues. All right, thank you very much. Welcome back from that quick break. I'll usually start off. Okay, you know what? Let me start with Agogo. Agogo, this whole debate. Where do you stand? Our players, when they go to their national teams. Now, let me give how things went with our players. Bruno was scoring and assisting. Diogo Dalot scored. Zexi scored and assisted. Mazraoui had a fantastic game for Morocco. Onana was good for Cameroon.
Even Ugarte
had a great time. Ugarte had a great time for Uruguay and all of that. But there is always this debate about our players and how well they fared for their teams and as against they playing for Manchester United. Is there a problem? Even over the last season, is there a problem?
Yeah, I think for the past 2 seasons under Ten Hag, even McTominay under Ten Hag, they'll go to their international break and they'll be giving us numbers. They'll be scoring goals. So I think it's the system under Ten Hag. He's not using the players at their right positions. Let's say Portugal. I don't think the Portuguese coach will instruct Bruno to go and play as a typical number 9. Do you get my point? You always start as a number 10. He's a creative player, so he's going to give you numbers. But Manchester United, sometimes we expect Bruno to start even as a deep line playmaker and a box-to-box player. I think the system, the tactical wise of Ten Hag is really not helping the players. But with their national team, they use them at their correct position. That's the main reason why they do perform well at their national team. But with the club side, system and tactics wise, they struggle. That's my point. Yeah.
That's what you think. But Kwame, what do you generally think? it looks as if these players, when they play for their national teams, and it sparked the debates. I like what seemed to be the fundamental problem. Agogo seemed to think that the players are not used at the positions that you'd expect them to be used, or the application isn't as expected. Do you hold the same view, or do you hold a contrary opinion, or any explanation to that?
I totally understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But these problems date even way back, even before Ten Hag actually took charge. It's been a long-standing problem at Manchester United. What this tells me is we don't have bad players. I tell you, this squad is good enough. It's not a bad squad to be producing the kind of football that we see week in, week out. It's a good squad. But what it does tell you is there is some sort of pressure that does come with playing for Manchester United, because, like I said before, this problem predates Erik ten Hag. Luke Shaw said some years ago, I can't really remember, about 3 or 4 years ago, when playing for England, that sometimes it feels like playing for Manchester United is so much pressure that it feels good to step away and go play for England. That should tell you something, right? It's got a lot more to do with just Erik ten Hag and his tactics and all that. It's just been a very, very toxic football club over a long period of time. So much so that when these players do step away from playing for Manchester United, it's almost like a relief for them. Like Agogo said, they go to their national teams and then they play big roles. I say big roles because these are good players, like I said. They're important players for these national teams that they play for. They play in certain roles to have very, very specific impacts for these teams. But to form a very good football team is about the sum of the parts, not the individuals. And unfortunately, when they do assemble at Manchester United, it doesn't always seem to come together for the various factors that both of us seem to have mentioned.
Well, that's a very interesting one. The weight of having to play for Manchester United and what it comes with, it's not every player that is able to handle that. I feel also contributes or makes a huge contribution to how these players play. But someone will make an argument, Kwame, I'll stay with you. Someone will make an argument that you play for a national team. This one has a whole nation's weight behind you.
Yes.
And this is just a club where it's just supported by a certain section of a population, all right? You have a whole nation with a whole national pride, but you're able to perform better than a club that you play for. What do you make of that argument?
You're making a mistake. Playing for Manchester United, I believe the weight of expectations is greater because it's a sum of all nations. We are estimated to have over 1 billion supporters worldwide. You're not talking about a country of Portugal. I don't know the population of Portugal. You're not talking about Uruguay that has a population of 3 million people.
Yeah.
You're talking about so many people all around the world having all sorts of expectations. Fine, there are bigger clubs like Real Madrid who, when you do play for such clubs, the expectation is quite the same. But you have to consider things in context. We have not been properly run for a long period of time. We've been bad for a long period of time. It's dating over a decade. Manchester United has become a graveyard for a lot of players. A lot of good players have been signed for Manchester United over the past 10 years. Paul Pogba was fantastic playing for France. How come when he did play for Manchester United under several managers, he did struggle? There is all of a sudden a very huge weight and burden of expectation playing for Manchester United, of which some players simply cannot deal with it. Unfortunately, that's the situation. So what I'm trying to say, it is not a unique or peculiar situation with Erik ten Hag. And you do know this. Date it all the way back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to Jose Mourinho, to Louis van Gaal before. Players have almost always seemed to feel comfortable stepping away from the limelight of Manchester United and just going elsewhere to have a very different feel about themselves. That's just how I see it.
Yeah.
I get
Agogo, do you want to chip in something? Yeah, Agogo, let's hear you.
Kwame, I want to ask, so therefore, what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem?
I think what we have suffered is a cultural change of which we need to reset. This is what I'm hoping for. That all the changes that you do see around us, that's apparently seem to be going on, would sort of stimulate a change, a cultural change. That would bring some form of stability to this football club. Ultimately, when we do get results, we do get back on track of winning and winning important things, not just a cup team that we've become.
Yeah.
Winning important things. Everything would then change again. Things will get back to normal. Until we get to that point, we'll just be yo-yoing just like this. Change the manager right now, and this kind of toxicity, all those kind of things, it's just going to be, we're stuck in a loop. That's why I say it's almost like we're stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
And we need some sort of breakthrough, of which I'm hoping that under this new regime, with all the changes going on around the club, we'll ultimately get there.
What did you make of the last game we played against Liverpool? What was running through your mind? We've done a post-match of it already, but what's been your honest opinion of Erik ten Hag?
Oh, I would say tactics-wise, and it's not really beat him, because if you watch our system, the first 7 minutes in the game, Arnold scored a goal, which was offside.
Yeah.
So I was expecting Ten Hag to change his tactics. Do you get my point? So it's like everybody is saying Casemiro. But tactics-wise, we can't even play, let's say, 2 or 3 passes together. We always want to start from back. Let's say the build-up phase. But Manchester United against Liverpool, I watched 19 build any attacking or starting from back. They went with the long ball. So if building from back is not working, at least as a good coach, you can communicate to your players to change. But he was still going with the building from back. And Liverpool, even under club, they press. Same as Arne Slot, they can press you. So I think the coach came with the tactics that, let's press Casemiro. Since he's not going to do, let's say, a simple pass, you always go with the long ball. So let's just press him. And you can watch the first 2 goals, a mistake from Casemiro with that high press of Szoboszlai and Luis Diaz. So Ten Hag, I think he should work more on his tactics. Yeah, we want to see something. 3 years, 3 pre-seasons. We really want to see something. That's what I have to say.
Something has to give with regards to Ten Hag's tactics. Okwame, you've been on a campaign. Myself and yourself, we've been on a campaign. Erik ten Hag has to show something. I mean, given kind of quality players that he's been given and the kind of expectations that we have of him as a coach. Like we've all agreed, it's been 3 years since he has taken over this club. He's had his way. The players, as we have been saying, are his players. The rest of the players left are just a few. And those are the quality that are left for him to work with. What's your final message for him? Because I know you've given him an ultimatum.
No, I'll just follow up on what Agogo was saying.
Yeah.
The issue I had with him in the Liverpool, we didn't do a deep tactical breakdown of the last game because of how we're all down.
Yes, the emotions were
yeah, but then after some days, you review, you sit down, you reflect. And the disappointment in that game comes from the fact that you did, like he said, perfectly, 100% spot on. Why don't you change your tactics when you realize from the get-go that you've fallen into a trap? Liverpool did set traps for us.
Yes.
They set traps for us. And you did not vary your tactics at all. It's almost like you stuck to your guns and went like, what I have pre-planned, it's supposed to work. And when it's not working, I'm still going to be stubborn to stick to what I actually want us to do, which is clearly not working. And that's the problem. The stubbornness. You get it? But like we said, I think the squad doesn't need to be perfect to be able to play the best football in the world.
Absolutely.
I feel it's a very good enough squad, one that you have built on your own, of which over 60% of the players have been purchased by you. You should be able to vary your tactics, play differently, adapt to certain situations. There is no way I look at this squad and say, to popular opinion, that there are bad players in the squad.
Never.
I'm not ever going to agree to that. From back to front, there is quality there. We spent
We
a
should
lot of money.
compete for the top four.
Definitely, top four should be a given. It should be the bare minimum. Nobody is actually holding Ten Hag to. You should be challenging for the title because we do believe that there are a couple of teams who are 100% better than us.
Correct.
But top four, we should not be struggling to get into the top four. But the problem is, with the squad that you have, you don't necessarily have to play one particular way, especially when it's working.
Correct.
The other time we're playing around with systems and what we could play fantasy-wise.
Yes.
You have players that you can actually play three at the back with wing backs, two strikers if you want. I'm not saying that's what he should turn to, but it shows you the degree and the depth of the squad of which you can actually vary things, of which unfortunately he's proven stubborn enough to do so. But the problem is, whatever goodwill that you had over the first couple of seasons was to buy you more time. Now that you've got the time, which is that extra year or two, the goodwill is gone. It's almost like as if now you have to prove yourself again. Get us to the next level. The past 2 years was chaotic. You're able to salvage it by winning trophies, which is 100% important. Anybody who tries to belittle that is just talking out of his ass. They are important. We hadn't won trophies for half a decade. It was miserable.
6 and 5 years.
It was miserable. So to get us back on that train, it's something to pride yourself on. But what next? All the goodwill is gone now, and everybody's looking at what next. Because after 2 seasons, usually for any good manager in the world, your third season is supposed to be like your kick-on season. You're supposed to see you move another year. And if he's not going to move another year, based off even his contract situation, Ineos did not give him a 4-year contract, 5-year contract like some dude at Chelsea.
Just 2.
It's almost like as if it's a performance-related sort of contract. If you're not going to move us to the next level, we can quickly move on. So the thread that he has is not as long. As I've said before in our previous, it's not as long. It's quite short. And it gets shorter with every bad result. So as soon as possible, he should get us back on the winning road. Our next 5 fixtures is not the craziest fixtures in the world. He should sort things out. Otherwise, I see Ineos pulling the plug, fans losing patience in quite a bit. It's all on him now. He's the star. We're all watching.
It's all
he should just
But today, there was this quote from Cristiano Ronaldo, and I would read a bit of it where he was responding. You know, Erik Ten Hag has said that the best we can do with this squad is to finish 4th or to finish in the top 4. But Cristiano Ronaldo seemed to hold a contrary opinion. And I'll read it and I'll get to you at Gogo to get your opinion on that.
Sure.
He said that Man United, in my opinion, they need to rebuild everything. The coach says they cannot compete to win the league and the Champions League. As the Manchester United coach, you cannot say that. You're not going to fight. You cannot say that you're not going to fight for the league or the Champions League. You need to have the mentality that even if you might not have the potential, you're going to try, and you have to try. This is what Cristiano Ronaldo said. Is it an issue of him not understanding the realities of the current squad, or what seemed to be the problem? I'll go. What's your thoughts on what Cristiano Ronaldo said?
Yeah, so I do agree with Cristiano Ronaldo because I do believe in rebuild, but mentality also counts. As a good coach, as a coach of Manchester United, you need to psych your players. They need that mentality that, I'm going to this particular game just to win. I won't accept any draw. So you need to psych your players that, with this our current squad, even though we are building our team, we should compete for the ultimate. You don't have to come online and be like, I don't think this particular squad can compete for. You see, you need to psych the players because I can tell you that the dressing room, everybody will be telling his friend, like his friend, no, even our coach is saying that we can't compete. So let's just finish in the top 4. We are cool, which is bad. as a coach of Manchester United, you need to sack your players. You need to set a target like, oh, we won't win the league. Of course, we can't compete. We can't compete with Arsenal and Man City, but we are going to try. We are going to do our best. We are rebuilding, but we are going to do our best. We saw Leicester City from nowhere won the EPL title. So it's possible. And with this, our current players, we just need 1 or 2 wins. I think they are going to. So you just need to motivate the players. But you saying, oh, with this team, we can't compete for the title. As a Manchester United coach, 3 good seasons at Manchester United. To me, I do agree with Cristiano Ronaldo. Ten Hag is a good coach, but he needs to psych his players. Mentality counts in football. How to communicate with your players will surely help your team to progress. So you saying you think you can't compete with this squad, I think mentality-wise, it's very down. It's very bad. So I do agree with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Agree with Cristiano
People will be like, maybe, You
do agree with Cristiano Ronaldo on that. All right. Kwame. Bruno Fernandes seemed to have bought into that. You remember the comment he made in the last game after we lost to Liverpool? And he said, when I was signing the contract, I knew we were not going to compete the title. Does it look like what the coach has said, what the coach has said has gotten into his mind? I mean, when you weigh what Ronaldo is saying, what Ten Hag has said, what Bruno has said, where do you draw the line?
I think, you see, what we have to look at is that the hierarchy around the club has changed, of which there are powers beyond Erik Ten Hag. What I do believe is people have had frank conversations with the squad. I'm talking about people higher, the Ashworths and then the Omar Berades and then the Wilcoxes. They have sat down, they've evaluated, because it's not just Bruno Fernandes who has said this. I remember Johnny Evans said this clearly in an interview just before the start of the season, that they are aiming to win a trophy as usual, but then at least they should qualify for Europe. I think they've just had an assessment, sat down with the squad and told them the expectations of the season. But you have to look at the 2 personalities involved in this discourse, which is Erik Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is a winner, an absolute winner. His mentality, the reason why he's still playing and playing at this high level is because of his mentality.
Absolutely.
His mentality is always to win, to get the ultimate, irrespective of the challenges. He's playing for an Al Nassr side, which is clearly not the best team in Saudi Arabia. But he talks them up as if they're the best team in Saudi Arabia, and he expects so much from them. No matter the number of losses, he keeps on going. He'll shed his tears, he'll pick himself up, he'll keep on going, score the goals, and expect them to win the league. You ask Ronaldo right now which team should win the Saudi league, he will tell you Al Nassr. But all of us, every single person sitting here right now, all 3 of us know Al Nassr isn't going to win that league. That's the reality. Right? That's the reality. But that doesn't work with Cristiano Ronaldo. Else he wouldn't have achieved everything that he's achieved now. So you sort of understand where he's coming from. And then there is the Dutchman. We know Dutch people.
Brutally honest
and as blatant as anything. Communication is very important, massively important, like Agogo was talking about. As the Manchester United manager, one of the things that have always gone against Erik Ten Hag is how he communicates to the press, especially to the press, pre-game and post-game. His command of the English language is not absolute. That's a fact. So things come out. Speaking as somebody who speaks another language, I understand that, because sometimes you would want to express yourself more elaborately, but you go straight to the point. And unfortunately, sometimes when you go straight to the point, it comes off wrongly. Sometimes
there's a cultural element in there. That sort of hinders.
That is where I'm going to a cultural element, where this is a Dutchman who naturally speaks frankly. Have you seen the way Ronald Koeman is talking about his national team players?
Yes.
Have you seen the way questions? Thank you very much. Have you seen the way even the press pose certain questions to him? It's not like the English media. They are brute about their questions. They ask questions like how we social media people ask questions. It's not plain and proper. It's not like that. It's just right in your face, and you have to answer them right back. You see the way they interview their players and the sort of responses their players give back to the press. It is unlike anything we read in English media. So there's that cultural issue of which he's blatant, he's frank, and he says things as it is. And then the frank truth that we all know, all of us know, is this team can't win the title this season.
That's true.
No.
Unfortunately, as Manchester United manager, we don't expect you to go and sit in the press and be frank. You have to be bullish. We expect you to be bullish.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it can work in two ways. It's either fans will hold you to it and go like, but you told us, we know ourselves as fans. Give it 3 or 4 months when things are going to shit. We'll come and sit here and go like, Erik told us that he's going to win the league, and then look at the way we are so. You get what I'm trying to say? There was that element to it. And there was the part where we expect a Manchester United manager to be bullish, to be confident, come and sit there and tell us we are aiming for the very best. As for me, I'm a realist. I have seen nothing wrong with what Erik Ten Hag came to say. I also understand exactly
where
the kind of
Cristiano
Ronaldo is. And I expect him to say exactly what he said. So sometimes, we always go like we are pitching things against each other. It's not about pitching things against each other. Ronaldo has every right to say what he's saying. In another sense, you have to understand why Ten Hag has been frank and brutal about what he said as well. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about results. It's always about results. I mean, I say, there are ways to play, win games and lose games, of which fans will go like, we have no problem with anything that is happening. United could finish 3rd or 4th, right? But if we play good football, we score goals, right? We're excited, we win the big games, like how he did in his first season. Everybody would be satisfied with the 3rd or 4th position when you've actually performed well during the course of the season. But if we are laboring and we are struggling and then we are losing, we lose here and then we win 2 and then we lose 2, that kind of thing is what actually pisses fans off. And then fans will go like, you're not good enough, you need to be fired, all sorts of things, or you probably need to win the league and not challenging for the league. So let's be realistic, yet have certain expectations of the manager and of the club. The expectations for almost everybody is that at least United should finish in the top 4, but do so comfortably. Play good football, be consistent, win games playing in a certain way. And if he does that, I think all of us will be okay.
All of us will be okay. Let's quickly switch to the game against Southampton. We have just about 5 minutes to end the podcast. Agogo, Southampton, how do we approach that game? Early kickoff in 2 minutes.
Okay, so I expect Ugarte to start this game, and then how should start with the 4-2-3-1 system. I want to see Martinez starting as a left back, then Maguire and Delete as a centre back for M5. Dalot to start ahead of Maguire for me. Then the double pivots of Ugarte and Menu. Then Bruno as a typical 10. Zexi, since he's the one available, Zexi to start as a number 9. Garnacho should start ahead of Rashford. Current form, Garnacho should start. Then we should go with Diallo. I think with this formation, Manchester United is going to win. If Manchester United can't win against Southampton, then meaning our season is over.
Before it starts, it's over.
If we can't score Southampton coming this Saturday, bro, our season is over. Because 3 matches, 1 win, 2 defeats, and we need to win this game to just boost our confidence. And Southampton, I don't think it's really a big team, or let's say it's going to cause us some threat or upset. So I expect Manchester United to win this game, but no, we should win. They should just give us the 3 points.
All we need is 3 points, according to Agogo. But I was curious to see why you put Martinez at left back. But it's fair. He's been playing that for.
The community show. He started as a left back, and we also saw what he was inverting to the middle. At least we were dominating City at some point. So I want him to start as a left back coming this game and see.
Well, that's a fair shout. Kwame?
Trivia. Oh, all I'll say about the Southampton game is that we've not lost to them in like our last 20 games. Erik Ten Hag should not break that record. He's been breaking unnecessary records. He should keep us on the right side of the records this time. You can jump to the trivia.
Let's do the trivia quickly. I'll go. Quick one. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you the best players for these teams that you've ever seen play for them. All right. So when I mentioned on top of your head, you quickly go and then we move. Bayern Munich.
Musiala.
Best player ever.
Best ever for Bayern Munich.
Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
Schweinsteiger.
Okay.
Okay.
Manchester United.
I'll still go with Wayne Rooney. I'll go with Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
He's our all-time top scorer.
Okay. Barcelona.
Messi. Oh.
That's an easy one, eh? Real Madrid.
Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Frank Lampard. Easy one.
All right. Man City. Aguero.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Tough one. But I'll go with Gerrard.
Okay. And Arsenal.
Yeah. I'll go with Thierry Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay, now I'm going to ask you. We are going to go into the quarterfinal. All right.
Okay.
Schweinsteiger, Wayne Rooney. Rooney. Okay.
Yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Hey.
It came too early.
I'm a Ronaldo rep, but I'll go with Messi.
You go with Messi.
Yeah.
Lampard, Aguero.
Lampard.
Okay. Gerrard, Henry.
Henry.
Okay. Semi-final.
Okay.
Messi, Rooney.
Oh, of course, Messi.
All right. Henry, Lampard. Okay, so now we are left with Lampard and Messi.
Easy.
All right, that's an easy one. Charlie, thanks a lot. Thank you for joining.
The top fixture too early. The top fixture came too early.
It came too early. We're all waiting for the Ronaldo versus Messi one, but he eventually made a choice. So that was it. All right, thank you very much, Agogo, for joining us on the podcast today and also being a part of the show. Also, Kwame, thank you very much for being a part of the podcast. It's great to have you. We are going into the game against Southampton. When we come back, right after the game, we'll be here. We'll be here to break down the game for you, myself and Kwame. We'll be breaking down the game for you to make you understand whether we won or we lost. But Erik Ten Hag, our last warning, your final warning, get your acts together. For me, I've given you, I've told Kwame already. I've washed my hands off you. Whatever you do.
You've lost complete confidence in the coach.
No confidence at all.
I won't give up.
All right. So remember to subscribe and like the show. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great time. Bye-bye.